be clear that the Democratic Party specializes in failure. They're incompetent, they're pathetic, and they lied to the American people and thought that they would get away with it. The cover-up on Biden's mental decline was very much real, and the fact that the party overall felt the need to lie to the American people and their own base goes to show you how little respect they have for their own voters.
Anna Kasparian just attacks the Democratic Party, and honestly, Chunky Yogurt chimes in too. They're both pissed. They are both pretty much done. They are so pissed because, for a little context, the Kamala Harris campaign literally spent 6 figures to set up a new podcast studio in DC for the Call Her Daddy podcast, which is a sex hoe girl podcast. Very odd. They're sick of the corruption in the Dem party. It's a good one. By the way, comment Chunky Yogurt, his expiration date for the algorithm. And yeah, let's just get right into this video. They are so pissed. We love it. We love to see the left eating their own. Am I right or am I right?
Consultants don't mind burning your money on senseless ads and rebuilding a set for a couple $100,000. Are you guys nuts?
Because they get a little taste of that money. They don't care as long as they're making their money. The consultants don't care. They don't care about you. They don't care about the candidate. They care about getting a cut from all that money that was raised for her campaign. And look, I think the sphere is a stupid idea, period, regardless of what's on the sphere, okay? What would have been far smarter is if Kamala Harris learned from what Donald Trump has managed to do correctly, which is earned media, earned media, earned media. How many times do I have to say that? Going on Rogan's podcast was free. But look, we also understand what the issue was with Kamala Harris going on any podcast, really. She has difficulty speaking. I don't know what's going on with her. I don't know why she had that problem. She's awkward. She's uncomfortable in her own skin, and she had a difficult time making a case for herself.
Thank you, Anna, for saying the gosh darn truth. This is something we all know. Trump can go on a podcast, the Joe Rogan podcast, and talk for 3 hours plus, no problem. Same with JD Vance. But Kamala Harris could not. Why is that? Because she's literally stupid. Literally stupid. By the way, guys, keep watching because Anna talks about this crazy thing that Nancy Pelosi herself actually admitted this past weekend about Joe Biden and his secret plan for Trump to win. It's so crazy. Make sure you subscribe, by the way, guys, and we'll get right back into it.
Every single rally speech, now that the election's over, now I can finally let it all out. Every single rally speech.
Let it out, girl. Let it out.
Jank was pathetic, okay? It was all on teleprompter, which I don't have a problem with, but it was the same speech every single time, the same message every single time. No passion behind it, no real genuine or no sincerity behind it. It was just a robotic, weird, over-rehearsed speech, and it was the same speech again and again and again. The question is, would she be able to have a conversation? The reason why she didn't go on Rogan's podcast is because, number one, she wanted him to fly to her. And he's like, no, I don't do that for anybody. People come to me in Austin, Texas.
And good for him. Why should he have to cater to her? Why should he do that? He would be like, her going on his podcast is like, here you can try to make a case to the American people, but you probably won't because you're so stupid, you'll probably embarrass yourself. But no, I'm not gonna go out of my way and treat you above every other guest. No, you're not above everyone else. Sorry, I know a lot of politicians think they're above the American people, but hey bitch, you're not.
And they have a 3-hour-long conversation. And that was the other thing. She didn't wanna have a 3-hour-long conversation. Because guess what? In a 3-hour-long conversation, it's real hard to hide who you are. Things are gonna slip, and if you have some issues, they're gonna come out. And so she didn't wanna have that 3-hour-long conversation, and that's an issue. But you wanna know who did have a 3-hour-long conversation? Trump did, and then Vance did, and then Elon Musk did. And that's earned media. That costs approximately $0.
Guys, this is not Monday Morning Quarterback. As usual, we're about to show you a clip that where we explain this in the middle of the campaign when they could have done something about it, as almost every Democrat was yelling at us. Don't criticize them. Let them keep going in the wrong direction, because cheerleading going in the wrong direction is such a genius idea. Let's go to F5 here, where we pointed this out in the middle of the cycle. I think you do as much earned media as you can. Why would you hide a perfectly good candidate? Let her go and make her case to the American people over and over and over again. Oh, we might have 1 or 2 negative stories. Yeah, that's called life in the big city. but you'll have 18 positive ones, 28 positive ones, because she's out there making her case. If you have a good case and a good candidate, you should want them out there nonstop. That's my philosophy on it. And by the way, when she doesn't go out, they hold Tim Walz back. And Tim Walz is really popular and makes a great case. Send them both out. I don't think this is a close call at all, but that's my take. You know, they raise all this money to do paid media. Earned media is better. That's not the ads in between the show, it's in the show, right? And so if you're got a good case to make to the American people, you should go and make it as often as possible. Kind of a no.
And that's the thing with Kamala, she didn't have a good case to make the American people. I mean, she quite literally was running on change, even though she was the sitting vice president for the incumbent president. What change were you talking about? Like, I know Democratic voters are stupid. No, I'm kidding. They're misinformed. I think they're brainwashed. Okay, I don't think they're the smartest bulbs on the bunch. Sorry, I just don't. That's the truth. But damn, she really underestimated just how much more intelligent than they thought they were. Just a little bit, just a hair, if you will, in the Harris. If you know, you know. Anyways, like this video, by the way. We still have more. The bombshell that Anna drops is going to be right at the end, so make sure you watch the entire freaking thing.
Brainer, but apparently that's who was running the campaign. People with no brains. I mean, like, so, okay, if you get offended, if you live in Washington, I don't care at all. You cost us this election, so yes, you should be offended. I think you were terrible at your job, okay? Second of all, can you learn for next time? Don't give up hundreds of millions of dollars in free media because, oh, well, we're not sure a candidate can handle it. Then pick a different candidate. Do a primary where you test your candidates really aggressively and make sure you could find someone who can speak.
Final thing I have to say about
Find someone who can just simply speak. Something Kamala cannot do. She's better at other things with her mouth. If you know, you know.
This because it's important for you all to know about it, okay? So we found out over the weekend, thanks to Nancy Pelosi's interview with the New York Times on their podcast, The Daily, that the plan was to get Biden to, step down from the re-election.
By the way, this is the bombshell I was talking about. And if you're still watching, make sure you comment an orange heart for the algorithm and subscribe.
Bid. And then they were all planning an open primary. But Biden, 30 minutes after he dropped out of the race, decided to endorse Kamala Harris as a middle finger to the Democratic Party. The other thing to know about Joe Biden is that their internal polling before he dropped out of the race indicated that if he stayed in the race, Donald Trump was going to win even more electoral college votes than he won against Kamala Harris. But they didn't care. Okay, he remained in the race until it was, in my opinion, already incredibly late. And so he set up Kamala Harris for failure. He set up the Democratic Party for failure. But I also want to be clear that the Democratic Party specializes in failure. They're incompetent, they're pathetic, and they lied to the American people and thought that they would get away with it. The cover-up on Biden's mental decline was very much real. And the fact that the party overall felt the need to lie to the American people and their own base goes to show you how little respect they have for their own voters.
All right, last two things. To back up what Anna's saying, Joe Biden does this as an FU, like, haha, now you're stuck with Kamala Harris. Brother, you picked her to be your vice president. I mean, you define failure. Oh, I picked such a terrible vice president, and I know that I would lose 400 electoral college votes and get landslided and absolutely destroy the Democratic Party and the country. But since you didn't let me do that, I'll screw you over by sticking you with the person that I picked who turned out to be terrible. Like, I mean, why don't you just hang a sign around your neck saying, I'm a terrible person.
Yeah, so this is insane stuff, guys. And by the way, today, Trump met with Biden, and Biden is literally smiling so hard. Watch this. I mean, I've never seen Biden happier. Maybe Biden is the true MAGA king of them all. If you're still watching, comment the American flag. Thank you guys so much, by the way. I didn't post the last 2 days because I was traveling, so please forgive me getting back on my normal recording schedule, which is 2 new videos every single day. As always, thank you so much for watching. I missed talking to you guys, and MAGA bitch. Bye.